So I'm DJ Ray. I do these these live shows every Tuesday on TikTok and Facebook at 8 p.m. sharp. And basically, the name of my show is Music Goats with DJ Ray. The Goats, of course, standing for the greatest of all time in various music genres. Last week we had the greatest Beatles song ever, and my friend Darren won that one. He's not with us tonight, so we're going to be crowning a new champion. Basically, what you're trying to do is I'm going to count down the top 20 of tonight's theme, which is the greatest Canadian solo artist of all time. So if they only played in a band like Geddy Lee of Rush, he's disqualified because he's in a band, right? So we're looking at solo artists. I don't want to give away too many names, but I think you get what I'm saying. So I do this every Tuesday at 8, both platforms, social media platforms, TikTok and Facebook, 8 p.m. sharp, and it's 8:01 right now, so I want to jump right into it. So if you think you know who the number one GOAT is, the greatest Canadian solo artist of all time, please feel free to type it in the chat, and whoever gets it first will be crowned this week's champion. We got Brian Adams from Mary, an excellent choice as always. Joni Mitchell from Ange, and still waiting for some more to come in. So let's get started. Uncle Mike, you pondering what your choice is going to be? Okay. Hey, Shelly. Okay, let's go. Okay, the greatest Canadian solo artist of all time. We're going to figure it out. And you know what? I was wondering this myself until I did my homework and really gave it some thought and some research. I wasn't too sure, but I'm going to let you know in about 40 minutes time who the GOAT is. Let's start with number 20. Coming in at number 20 on the greatest Canadian solo artist of all time, Carly Rae Jepsen. Born in Mission, BC on November 21st, 1985, Carly Rae Jepsen garnered mainstream attention after finishing in third place on the 5th season of Canadian Idol. Remember that? There was a Canadian version. Celine Dion for Uncle Mike. Okay, great job, great pick. Her breakthrough came in 2011 with her acclaimed single, Call Me Maybe, which went on to become the best-selling single of the year. It topped the charts in multiple countries worldwide, including the UK, the US, and of course Canada. 1 year later, she followed up with another Canadian chart topper called Good Time, featuring American music group Owl City. Throughout her career, she has received 3 Billboard Music Awards and 3 Juno Awards. And in March 2025, Billboard magazine included Carly Rae Jepsen on its list of the top women artists of the 21st century. The thing is with Carly Rae Jepsen, I think she's more popular in the US than here in Canada in many ways. And she's going to be my number 20 pick, coming in at number 20 on the greatest Canadian solo artist of all time, Carly Rae Jepsen. Yes. Nice cheer. Okay, I like that. Thank you. What else do we got in here? Okay. Let's keep going, guys. Number 20, Carly Rae Jepsen, which takes me to number 19, and even younger. The youngest one on this chart, my top 20 today. Some of you may not even know her. She's pretty new on the scene, but she's making a lot of noise. And her name is Tate McRae. Born in Calgary, Alberta on Canada Day, July 1st, 2003, Tate McRae actually started her career as a dancer. She initially gained recognition in 2016 as a contestant on the American reality show, So You Think You Can Dance. Her most prominent singles thus far include songs like You Broke Me First, 2020, She's All I Want to Be, 2022, Greedy in 2023, Exes in 2023, It's Okay, I'm Okay, 2024, and Sports Car this year in 2025. Her 2023 song Greedy won the Juno Award for Single of the Year, biggest song in Canada in 2023, and peaked at number 3 in the US on Billboard's Hot 100 chart. At just 21 years of age, This rising star has already been presented with 6 Junos, including the award for Canadian Artist of the Year in 2024. You can see where this is going with Tate McRae. She's going to be big, well, she's already big. She's on number 19. She's only 21 years old. 6 Juno Awards. Crazy. So number 19 is Tate McRae. Take a quick drink here. Check out my notes there. Yeah, welcome aboard. Anybody just came on in. Same with, look at Bobby over on Facebook picking Leonard Cohen. There you go. That's a traditional one. Okay, we got Leonard Cohen on the pick list too. Okay, so number 20 was Carly Rae Jepsen. Number 19 was Tate McRae, which brings me to number 18. A very unique artist indeed. Her name is Terri Clark. Born in Montreal, Quebec, on August 5th, 1968, Terri Lynn Sausen, aka Terri Clark, is a Canadian country music singer who's had success in both Canada and the US. Her most prominent single came in 1998 with her single You're Easy on the Eyes, which topped the country charts in both Canada and the US. She had many other Canadian chart toppers, including Poor Poor Pitiful Me, 1996, If I Were You, 1996, Emotional Girl, 1997, and In My Next Life, 2007. Throughout her career, Terri Clark has garnered 3 Juno Awards, including Best Female Country Artist in 2001. In 2004, Terri Clark received one of country music's crowning achievements when she became an official member of the Grand Ole Opry. In 2018, she was inducted into the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame. And in 2023, she became a member of the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. Coming in at number 18, Terri Clark. And what's so interesting about Terri Clark, she came out kind of around the same time Shania Twain did in the 90s. And Shania just soared worldwide. And Terri Clark did very well, of course, number 18. But, being a country singer from Montreal, of all places, let alone Canada. I mean, Canada's really coming out with some great country singers lately, the last couple decades. But in the 90s, almost unheard of. So Terri Clark really, deserves her accolades. At number 18, our very own country music singer, who's in the Grand Ole Opry. That's how you know she can fit in with the Americans, who basically, in my opinion, invented country music. Anyway, let's carry on. But just before that, just a reminder, for anybody just joining me, I'm DJ Ray. I'm here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. sharp. I'm on live on Facebook, live on TikTok, of course. And we have a different music theme every week. My show is called DJ Ray's Music Goats, GOATS standing for the greatest of all time. Last week it was the greatest Beatles song of all time, and this week it's the greatest Canadian solo artist of all time. Not a band singer only, a solo artist, somebody who, like Terri Clark and our other 2, Carly Rae Jepsen and Tate McRae so far, all solo artists. So we're going to carry on. We've got some great picks coming in here, so let's see who takes it tonight. Who knows their Canadian music? It's really cool to see Canada proud lately. I just feel like this patriotism going on from coast to coast, and it's just kind of like the opposite of what's going on in America. We may never become the 21st state, but we might become the new America if this keeps up. I think everybody would prefer to live in Canada. And now the music's exploding too in the 21st century. So let's keep it going. Coming in at number 17, you guys probably remember this girl, Portuguese descent. Coming in at 17, we have Nelly Furtado. Born in Victoria, BC on December 2nd, 1978, Nelly Furtado has sold over 45 million records throughout her career. Her most popular records include I'm Like a Bird, 2000, Turn Off the Light, 2001, Promiscuous, 2006, and Maneater, also in 2006. How could you not, Mary? Very pretty, too. Nelly Furtado has won many awards throughout her career, including a Billboard Music Award, 3 Much Music Video Awards, a Brit Award, a Grammy Award, and 10 Junos. She was also honored with a star in Canada's Walk of Fame. I've mentioned this before, but if you ever hear of an artist winning a Brit Award, it's pretty big. Brit Award, I always say, is comparable to a Grammy Award here in North America. So if you got a Brit Award, you basically got a Grammy UK version. So I would say after a Grammy, or, a Brit Award is right there, number two. So it's kind of like, well, maybe not. I was going to say it's kind of like winning the Stanley Cup or the Conn Smythe, but there's nothing like the Stanley Cup. Anyway, that's my Canadian coming out. Coming in at number 17, it's Nelly Furtado. Yes, I'm liking this, this Canadian thing. Maybe I'll do another one, maybe the greatest Canadian rock band soon. That would be kind of neat. Okay, this next one is a throwback. I like to think of him as like a pioneer and in Canadian music. He really was. And his name, coming in at number 16, Mr. Paul Anka. Born in Ottawa, Ontario on July 30th, 1941, Paul Albert Anka is a prolific songwriter who wrote compositions for Tom Jones, Frank Sinatra, and Michael Jackson. His most popular singles include Diana, 1957, You Are My Destiny, 1957, Lonely Boy, 1958, Put Your Head on My Shoulder, 1959, Having My Baby, 1974, and I Don't Like to Sleep Alone, 1975. In 1972, Paul Anka was honored by his home city of Ottawa, naming a street called Paul Anka Drive. And in 2020, on season 4 of The Masked Singer, Paul Anka competed under the name Broccoli. Always popular south of the border, he was also featured as a guest on many other American TV shows, including The Gilmore Girls and That 70s Show. His accolades include a Juno Award, a Grammy Award, and in 2005, he was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. Coming in at number 16 on DJ Ray's greatest Canadian solo artist of all time, Mr. Paul Anka. What a pioneer in Canadian music. Wish I could put him higher, but based on all the research, he comes in at number 16, which takes me to number 15, completely opposite of Paul Anka. This guy is really new on the scenes, 26, 27 at this point, something like that. His name is Shawn Mendes. Born in Pickering, Ontario on August 8th, 1998, Shawn Mendes gained recognition following the release of his 2015 album that featured the single Stitches, which peaked within the top 10 in both Canada and the US. It also topped the charts in the UK. With momentum on his side, he went on to release several more popular singles, including Treat You Better, 2016, There's Nothing Holding Me Back, 2017, In My Blood, 2018, If I Can't Have You, 2019, and Wonder, 2020. He also had 2 number 1 singles in Canada with the songs Senorita, featuring Camila Cabello in 2019, and Monster, featuring Eminem in 2020. His duet Senorita also topped the American charts. Among his many accolades, Shawn Mendes has won 12 Juno Awards and 3 AMAs. In 2018, Time magazine named him as one of the 100 most influential people in the world. Quite impressive, him and Tate McRae, who's even younger than him. But, Canada's really been on fire with, in the music industry. Canada's been on fire with everything lately, but music particularly. So, yeah, good on him. Coming in at number 15, Shawn Mendes. All right, we're moving up, guys. When it gets into that top 10, it really starts to get heavy. There's like no question about the picks. Some of you guys might question artists like, Tate McRae and whatever, but, you got to keep up with the times too. It's, and she's like a Britney Spears of Canada, as far as I'm concerned. She's starting off like that. So watch for that name in the next 5 years. And she's just Tate McRae from Calgary. Where is she, Calgary? Hold on, Tate McRae. Yeah, Calgary. Okay, number 14, a little more of a classic female. Coming in at number 14, we have Sarah McLachlan. Born in Halifax, Nova Scotia on January 28th, 1968, Sarah Ann McLachlan has sold over 40 million albums worldwide. Her most popular singles amongst Canadians are Possession, 1993, I Will Remember You, 1995, Sweet Surrender, 1997, Adia, 1998, Angel, 1998, and River, 2006. Her only number one Canadian single came in 1997 with Building a Mystery, which also placed within the top 30 in the US. Her career accolades include 12 Juno Awards and 3 Grammys. In the year 2012, she was inducted into Canada's Walk of Fame, and in 2024, she was officially inducted into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. On September 17th, 2024, Canada Post released a stamp honoring her music career. That's Sarah McLachlan coming in at number 14. What a legend. A legend indeed. So with that, I just want to do a quick reminder once again. My name is DJ Ray. I'm here every Tuesday night live on TikTok or Facebook, your choice, at 8 p.m. sharp. And my show is called DJ Ray's Music Goats, which stands for the greatest of all times in different categories of music. Last week we had the Beatles' greatest song, which Darren won. He picked the number one, which was Hey Jude. But he's not with us tonight, but he is our current champion. He's going to be dethroned tonight, I think, unless nobody gets the number one Canadian solo artist. And like I said, tonight's is the greatest Canadian solo artist. If you haven't picked your vote yet for the number one GOAT, please type it in the chat and join in. It's fun. And remember, the votes stop at by the time I start the fifth. I name the fifth artist. Okay, so get them in if you can. You still got lots of time. And yeah, number 14 was Sarah McLachlan. And females seem to be dominating here. Number 13, my favorite number, and one of my favorite Canadian artists, Avril Lavigne, comes in at number 13 all-time greatest Canadian solo artist. Born in Belleville, Ontario, Avril Ramona Lavigne was a key contributor to the rise of pop punk music, which now they have this indie pop, which is kind of a contradiction in terms, but she really kind of pioneered that whole rise. At the age of 16, she signed a 2-album recording contract with Arista Records. Her debut LP, Let Go, released in 2003, is the best-selling album of the 21st century by any Canadian artist. It yielded the singles Complicated and Skater Boy, which emphasized the skate punk persona and earned her the title of Pop Punk Princess. Say that 5 times quick. In 2003, she achieved a Guinness World Record for being the youngest female artist to top the UK album chart. She was 18 at the time. She was also the first artist to reach 100 million views on a YouTube video with her 2007 single, Girlfriend. Some of her other achievements include 3 Teen Choice Awards, 8 Much Music Video Awards, 6 World Music Awards, and 10 Juno Awards. Coming in at number 13, Avril Lavigne. Her debut single, Complicated, it's just, I remember that song, it just was infectious right from the beginning. Let me just, hold on one sec here. Let me just throw that back. Since I've been back for a while. Okay, so that was number 13, and Avril Lavigne, which moves us to song number 12. You guys know this one for sure. And this one's a little bit tricky because he was in a great band or two and had a great solo career. So because he had a great solo career, he's counted. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate it. That color looks great on me, by the way. Coming in at number 12, Burton Cummings. Getting serious now. We're not even in the top 10 yet. Born in Winnipeg, Manitoba on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 1947, Burton Lorne Cummings gained recognition as the original lead singer of legendary Canadian rock band, The Guess Who. Although he was very successful with this iconic group, he also had quite the solo career, racking up many popular singles like Stand Tall, 1976, My Own Way to Rock, 1977, Break It to Them Gently, 1978, and Fine State of Affairs, 1980. Throughout his incredible career, Burton Cummings won 22 SOCAN Awards, 5 RPM Awards, and 6 Junos. That's as an individual. Cited as one of the most influential performers in Canada's rock music history, he was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame and the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. On June 28, 2011, Burton Cummings was awarded with a star on Canada's Walk of Fame. He had previously received the star as a member of the Guess Who in 2001. So coming in at number 12, we have Burton Cummings. And I just got word my daughter's on here as well. So hi, Jilly. I love you. Thanks for joining me. It's the first time she's joined one of my lives. So that's really special. And she's very special. So there you go. Number 12, Burton Cummings. So let me just give you a really quick recap of who we've got so far and the greatest Canadian solo artists. Number 20 was Carly Rae Jepsen. Number 19, Tate McRae. Number 18, Terry Clark. Number 17 was Nelly Furtado. Number 16, a legendary Paul Anka. Number 15 was Shawn Mendes. Number 14, Sarah McLachlan. Number 13 was Avril Lavigne. And number 12, Burton Cummings, which takes us to number 11. Now, somebody mentioned this artist earlier as their top pick, and you may be surprised to find out that she's only at number 11. That just tells you what my top 10's like tonight. Canada's getting powerful in music. Coming in at number 11, it's Joni Mitchell. I think my sister Ange said that one. I could be mistaken, but great choice, but we still got 10 higher than her. Born in Fort Macleod, Alberta, on November 7th, 1943, Joni Mitchell is one of the most significant singer-songwriters to emerge from the 1960s folk music circuit. She started her career by singing in small Western Canadian nightclubs before moving on to clubs of Toronto. Eventually, in 1965, she moved to the US and began touring. An incredible songwriter, Joni Mitchell's highest charting Canadian singles include Big Yellow Taxi, 1970, You Turn Me On, I'm a Radio, 1972, Help Me, 1974, and Free Man in Paris, 1974 as well. In 2003, Rolling Stone magazine added Joni Mitchell to their list of the greatest guitarists of all time. She was the highest ranked woman on the list, making her arguably the greatest female guitarist in music history, at least in the opinion of Rolling Stone magazine. And I couldn't disagree too much. I was always a big fan of Nancy Wilson, but Joni Mitchell, songwriting and guitar playing. People don't understand how brilliant of a guitar player and songwriter she really is. So that's really what made her career. Coming in at number 11, sorry, Ange, but it's not quite the number one. Well, it's two ones. Number 11 is Joni Mitchell, which takes me to the top 10. And here's where it gets good. This gentleman just passed away recently, and he's going to hit the number 10 spot. His name is Gordon Lightfoot. Born in Orillia, Ontario. A lot of Ontarios here, eh? On November 13th, 1938, Gordon Meredith Lightfoot achieved worldwide success and helped define the singer-songwriter era of the 1970s. Widely considered as Canada's greatest songwriter, his biggest recordings include songs like If You Could Read My Mind, 1970, Sundown, 1974, Carefree Highway, 1974, Rainy Day People, 1975, and The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, 1976. Robbie Robertson of the band, was quoted as saying, described Lightfoot as a national treasure. And Bob Dylan was quoted as saying, I can't think of any Gordon Lightfoot song I don't like. Every time I hear a song of his, it's like I wish it would last forever. That's Bob Dylan. Throughout his storied career, Gordon Lightfoot earned many accolades, including a 1986 induction into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, a 1998 entry into Canada's Walk of Fame, and a 2001 induction into the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame. On June 24th, 2012, Gordon Lightfoot was officially inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in a New York City ceremony along with Bob Seger. Aside from these many achievements, he also received a staggering 16 Juno Awards as top folk singer. Now, when I think of Gordon Lightfoot, you see he was inducted into the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame, but that's because, if I could say, that's because up to that point we didn't have any country music. I don't think of Gordon Lightfoot as a country artist. He's crossover, sure, but he's a folk singer. He's always been a folk singer. Well, he's gone now, of course, the late Gordon Lightfoot. But coming in at number 10, a legend indeed, a Canadian legend, Gordon Lightfoot. What'd you say? So, hey, Teddy, how are you? And you taking Neil Young? Okay, you got time, yeah? Just sorry, guys, just checking out the messages. Who can you tell stories about, Bobby? Oh, Bobby's having a little party over there on Facebook. Okay, so that's great. Great picks coming in. I love it. Okay, that was number 10, Gordon Lightfoot, which takes me to another gentleman that you might have heard of from pretty much the same era as Gordon Lightfoot. His name, wait for it, Neil Young. Born in Toronto, Ontario, on November 12, 1945, Neil Percival Young decided to move to Los Angeles in the 1960s to form the folk rock group Buffalo Springfield. Often referred to as the godfather of grunge, his political outspokenness and social awareness influenced artists such as Blind Melon, Pearl Jam, and Nirvana. His singing career has been defined by exceptional guitar work, deeply personal lyrics, and his signature high tenor voice. As a solo artist, Neil Young's most popular singles among fans include songs like Heart of Gold, 1971, Old Man, 1972, Rockin' in the Free World, 1989, and Harvest Moon, 1992. I hope that's not a pick, Madonna, Ange. No, we all know Madonna's from, actually, she's not from New York. She's from Michigan, I think. Anyway, let's stick with Canada here. Coming in at number 9, the iconic Neil Young. He even played with, by the way, Crosby, Stills, and Nash for a little while there, too. So he's been around, and he's still trucking. So, yeah. Before I carry on to number 8, I want to remind you really quickly, I'm DJ Ray. I'm here these are kind of like my commercials, so sorry, I try to make them quick. Every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. live on TikTok and Facebook. And my show is called DJ Ray's Music Goats, or Music Goats with DJ Ray. And the GOATS, of course, stands for the greatest of all time. So, yeah, we pick a different greatest of all time music theme. This week, the theme is the greatest Canadian solo artist of all time. And all of us are feeling Canada proud lately, so let's continue with number 8. And this female definitely made us proud. Coming in at number 8, Anne Murray. Born in Spring Hill, Nova Scotia on June 20th, 1945, Anne Murray is a retired Canadian singer who has sold over 55 million albums worldwide during her over 40-year career. She had multiple number 1 Canadian singles with chart-topping hits like Cotton Jenny, 1972, Danny's Song, 1972, A Love Song, 1973, You Needed Me, 1978, and I Just Fall in Love Again, 1979. I'd be remiss if I didn't also mention her signature hit, Snowbird, released in 1970, which peaked at number 2 on the Canadian national charts and established Anne Murray as a bona fide country folk singer. Aside from her 4 Grammy Awards, Anne Murray has received 3 AMAs, 3 CMAs, and a record 26 Juno Awards. She has been inducted into the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame, the Juno Hall of Fame, the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame, and she is also a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame. She also, and that's the American one, she also has been awarded with her own star in Canada's Walk of Fame and the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So, I mean, she had success on both sides of the border, Anne Murray. And remember what I was saying about Gordon Lightfoot being really more of a folk singer. Anne Murray's more of a folk singer than country as well, but you can see the country in Anne Murray. So she's a perfect example of a country folk singer, a bit of both. Coming in at number 8, the legendary Anne Murray. When I was growing up, she was always spoken of as the greatest Canadian singer. But times change, you know, more Canadian artists come out and you lose your position. But, you know, for being born in 1945, basically when World War II was ending, and she's still alive, and she's at number 8, that's pretty impressive. Number 8 is Anne Murray, as we continue our greatest Canadian solo artist of all time. But just before that, I want to remind you of the last top 10 so far. At number 10, we had Gordon Lightfoot. At number 9, we had Neil Young. And at number 8, we had Anne Murray, which takes me to number 7. Seems the girls are just owning this chart. I mean, it's a new time. I mean, coming in at number 7, you may remember her from the 90s mostly, the early 2000s. Alanis Morissette takes the number 7 spot. Born in Ottawa, Ontario, boo, if you're a Leaf fan, on June 1st, 1974, Alanis Nadine Morissette became a cultural phenomenon during the mid-1990s and early 2000s. Having sold more than 75 million records worldwide, she is considered as one of the best-selling music artists of all time. Between the years 1995 and 2002, she racked up 6 number 1 singles in Canada with songs like You Learn, Hand in My Pocket, Ironic, Head Over Feet, Thank You, and Hands Clean. However, it was her number 2 single, You Oughta Know, that really defined her as an edgy alternative folk rocker. Her impressive list of accolades includes 1 Brit Award, 2 AMAs, 7 Grammy Awards, and 14 Juno Awards. In 2005, she was officially inducted into Canada's Walk of Fame. If you look at her awards there, she has a Brit Award, which is like a Grammy. She has 7 actual Grammys, and she has 14 Juno Awards, which I wouldn't say is quite as high as a Grammy, but it's definitely Canada's version of a Grammy. So she's done it all, you know. Coming in at number 7, and one of my favorite Canadians for sure, Alanis Morissette. Just one last thing I want to say about Alanis Morissette. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but when she first started her career, she started as a pop singer, you know, pop dance singer. And I remember, what was that song called? Too Hot. It was called Too Hot before she started this edgy thing. And it was terrible, if I can be honest. It was like a really poppy dance song. And you can look it up on YouTube if you want. It's called Too Hot by just Alanis. And it was failing her. She wasn't really, so she did like a 180 and just found her way with this edgy style of rock that she came out with, and really influenced so many artists to come. Coming in at number 7, Alanis Morissette, greatest Canadian solo artist of all time. We're 6 away from crowning the champion. And who was like Tiffany, Teddy? Tiffany, the singer, you mean? Or maybe you're probably having a conversation about somebody else. Anyway, excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt. So yeah, Alanis Morissette takes number 7. Coming in at number 6, Bryan Adams. Just think, there's 5 more here that are bigger than Bryan Adams. That's pretty incredible. Off the cuff, if somebody just said greatest Canadian artist, solo artist of all time, I think my head would go to Bryan Adams, but apparently not. Maybe it's just a preference thing, but coming in at number 6, it is Bryan Adams. Born in Kingston, Ontario, another Ontario boy, on November 5th, 1959, Bryan Adams has sold over 100 million records worldwide. He rose to fame in 1983 with his debut album, which featured hits like Straight from the Heart and Cuts Like a Knife. He followed up with a string of popular singles like Run to You, 1984, Summer of '69, 1985, and Heaven, also from 1985. With momentum on his side, Bryan Adams entered the 90s scoring multiple number 1 Canadian singles, including Everything I Do For You. I believe that was your wedding song, wasn't it, Ange? In 1991. Thought I Died and Gone to Heaven, 1992. Please Forgive Me, 1993. Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman, 1995. And Back to You, 1997. This is just to name a few. Some of his many accolades include being inducted into the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Canada's Walk of Fame, the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, and the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. He also won a whopping 20 Juno Awards, and in 1992, he won a Grammy Award for his single, Everything I Do. Yeah, just I just want to say something. I'm not 100% sure about this, so please don't quote me. Yeah, please don't quote me. Did you change your? Okay, yeah, we already went with Gordon Lightfoot, so he's off there. Try another one. Oh, you got Leonard Cohen. That's right. So you're good still, Bobby, over on Facebook. So yeah, one thing I just want to say about Bryan Adams is, if I'm not mistaken, and I should have researched this, but it's just coming off the cuff here, I could have swore that he played with either Loverboy before Mike Reno, or maybe it wasn't Loverboy, maybe it was Todd Sweeney. Anyway, Sweeney Todd or whatever. So when I say he debuted in 1983, he was at the music industry right into the 70s, Bryan Adams. So yeah, so he deserves all the accolades here. Coming in at number 6, definitely the man from Kingston, Bryan Adams. Heaven Was Your Favorite, eh, Mary? This is a great song. I'm trying to think what song I liked. I liked so many of Bryan Adams' songs. I think I liked that slow one, Best Was Yet to Come, on his, I think, first album. Okay, you guys ready for the top 5? You guys might be a little surprised with some of these. At least a couple of them anyway, I think. Maybe not. Coming in at number 5, The Weeknd. Now, when you think of that, and some of the artists I just said, you might be thinking, how in the world can The Weeknd hold a candle to any of these artists? Well, let me explain. Abel McCone Tesfaye, aka The Weeknd, was born in Toronto, Ontario on February 16th, 1990, my mom's birthday. Not the 1990 part, but the February 16th. At just 35 years of age, he is already, check this out, sold over 75 million records worldwide, which includes chart-topping Canadian singles like The Hills, 2015, I Can't Feel My Face, 2015, Starboy, 2016, Call Out My Name, 2018, Blinding Lights, 2019, Save Your Tears, 2020, and Creepin', 2023. He also had 7 number 1 singles in the US, making him a household name south of the border. His impressive list of accolades includes 4 Grammy Awards, 6 AMAs, 20 Billboard Music Awards, and 22 Juno Awards. In 2020, Time magazine listed him as one of the world's most influential people, and in 2023, he was dubbed the world's most popular artist by Guinness World Records. Coming in at number 5 and taking Canada and the US by storm is The Weeknd. Crazy. He's part of that new, invasion of Canada. You have the British invasion, now you have the Canadian invasion, and you're going to find a couple more in this top 5 as part of that invasion. But this one's not. This artist, was more like the 90s, and you all will like this one, I think. Another female. Her name is Shania Twain. Coming in at number 4, born in Windsor, Ontario on August 28, 1965, the Queen of Country Pop has sold over 100 million records, making her the best-selling female artist in country music history. I mean, that's over Loretta Lynn, that's over Dolly Parton, that's over Carrie Underwood, that's over, and she's from Canada, Ontario. Who would have thought? Her most popular Canadian singles include Any Man of Mine, 1995, Don't Be Stupid, 1997, That Don't Impress Me Much, 1998, You're Still the One, 1998, Man, I Feel Like a Woman, 1999, I'm Gonna Get You Good, 2002, Forever and for Always, 2003, and Party for Two in 2004. In 1999, Shania Twain was named Entertainer of the Year by both the Country Music Association and the Academy of Country Music. She has also received 2 World Music Awards, 5 Grammy Awards, and 39 BMI Songwriter Awards. Her other career achievements include inductions into the Hollywood Walk of Fame and the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. Her incredible legacy has paved the way and influenced many popular singers like Carrie Underwood and Taylor Swift. Coming in at number 4, the Queen of Country. I'm not just talking Canadian country, I'm talking world. Well, I guess it's really America. Shania Twain. She did us very proud. Okay, top 3, which deserves a minor drum roll. Did anybody pick the number 1? The voting booths are closed, so you're locked in. And I don't think anybody picked this guy by the looks of it. But if you did, it was a great choice. And he comes in at number 3. His name is Justin Bieber. Born in London, Ontario, Justin Drew Bieber is a pop music icon who was discovered by Scooter Braun in 2008 and was subsequently brought to the US by R&B singer Usher. He was then ushered into the mainstream stardom with his debut single Baby, released in 2010. Exploding on the music scene like a nuclear bomb, he followed up with basically hit after hit, including songs like Beauty and a Beat featuring Nicki Minaj in 2012, I Don't Care featuring Ed Sheeran in 2019, and Yummy in 2020. He also dominated the Canadian charts with number 1 singles like Boyfriend 2012, What Do You Mean 2015, Sorry 2015, Love Yourself 2015, Stuck With You featuring Ariana Grande 2020, Holy also 2020, Lonely 2020, Monster featuring Shawn Mendes 2020, Peaches 2021, and Stay 2021. Wow, that was quite a 2020 for the Biebs, racking up 4 number 1 Canadian singles in just 1 year. Not bad. Having sold over, get ready for this, 150 million records worldwide, Justin Bieber is ranked as one of the best-selling music artists in music history. His career accolades include 2 Brit Awards, 2 Grammy Awards, 8 Juno Awards, 18 AMAs, 23 Teen Choice Awards, 26 Billboard Music Awards, and 33 Guinness World Records. Coming in at number 3, and the greatest Canadian artist of all time, it's Justin Bieber. If you would have told me this well, he was about not quite 20 years ago when he came out, but 15 or so years ago, I would have died on the floor laughing with this little kid with a squeaky voice and a bowl cut, or whatever you want to call that hairdo that he made very popular, by the way. I would have just died laughing. But here he is, number 3 all-time Canadian artist, like blowing away Neil Young. Like, who does that? Yeah, Justin the Biebs does it. And he comes in at number 3, which takes me to number 2. Well, I guess Justin followed in his shoes, but they both came out at similar times. This guy's just a little bit older, though. Let me tell you who he is first. No. Born on October 24th, 1986, Drake is considered as one of the greatest rappers of all time and is still going strong to this day. His catalog of chart-topping Canadian singles include One Dance from 2016, God's Plan from 2018, Nice for What 2018, In My Feelings 2018, Nonstop 2018. Guess 2018 was Drake's year and 2020 was Justin's. Laugh Now, Cry Later 2020, What's Next 2021, Jimmy Cooks 2022, Rich Flex 2022, and First Person Shooter 2023. Other popular fan favorites by Drake include Hold On, We're Going Home 2013, Hotline Bling 2015, and Passion Fruit 2017. You thought the Biebs did good with his 150 million? With over 170 million units sold. He is ranked as the highest certified digital singles artist in the US. He was Spotify's most streamed artist of the 2010s, and in 2018, Rolling Stone called him the definitive pop star of his generation. His accolades consist of 5 Grammy Awards, 6 AMAs, 39 Billboard Music Awards, 2 Brit Awards, and 3 Junos. I know a lot of you out there, like close around my age-ish, and a lot of Gen Xers out there and older millennials, and maybe don't like number 3 and 2, but it is what it is. Drake and Justin Bieber really are iconic Canadian legends at this point. But if you want a real icon, it's time for number 1. Who's going to be this week's champ? We need a little drum roll, a little sip of water, and the big announcement. You guys ready? The number 1 greatest Canadian solo artist of all time is Celine Dion. I got to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Celine Dion, but wait till you hear what I got to say. Often referred to as the Queen of Power Ballads, Celine Dion was born in Charlemagne, Quebec on March 30th, 1968, with over 200 million records sold worldwide. I mean, that's like Beatles, and maybe not quite Beatles, but Rolling Stones type stuff. She is hands down the best-selling Canadian recordist artist ever, and is one of the best-selling music artists of all time. Throughout her incredible career, she has scored 16 number 1 albums and several number 1 Canadian singles, including If You Asked Me To, 1992, The Power of Love, 1993, which was originally by Jennifer Rush, Because You Loved Me, 1996, It's All Coming Back to Me Now, 1996, My Heart Will Go On from Titanic, 1997, I Want You to Need Me, 2000, and I Drove All Night, 2003. 3 of these singles also topped the US charts, including her 1998 single, I'm Your Angel. One of the wealthiest musicians in the world, Forbes magazine ranked her as the highest paid female musician for the year 1997, 1998, 2004, and 2006. Her accolades include 12 World Music Awards, 9 Billboard Music Awards, 7 AMAs, 5 Grammys, 20 Juno Awards, and 4 Guinness World Records. And congratulations, a big congratulations to Uncle Mike, who's this week's champion. Yeah, Teddy, you know what? I think I do like Jennifer Rush's version. Well, she's the original, right? But nobody remembers Jennifer Rush. Celine Dion comes along, takes it, and makes it a, international hit. But back to Uncle Mike. I think that's your 2nd or 3rd championship now, Uncle Mike. I'm pretty sure you won the disco one. I remember you won it at the 11th hour, putting in your choice. So you guys better watch for Uncle Mike. He's the new champion. And yeah, good choice, Uncle Mike, picking Celine Dion. Great job. So yeah, that's pretty much about to wrap it up for me here for this week. But before I let you go, guys, I just want to, first of all, mention to you what next week's theme will be. And it is on Tuesday, May 13th, next Tuesday, 8 p.m. right here live on Facebook and on YouTube. It's going to be the greatest 1990s artist of all time. So, I don't want to give away, but, and it's not just solo artists. It could be anything. It could be a band. It can be a singer. It can be any genre. So just like when we did the 70s a few weeks ago, any artist, band, singer, whatever, 1990s next week. And with that, be sure and check me out on social media. I'm on most of the major platforms, and you can easily find me by typing in DJ Ray's Music. Alternately, you can check out my official website at djraysmusic.com. And with one last thing I'd like to mention, I'm now currently actually going to be doing, providing my DJ services anywhere in Ontario. So if you know anybody that's got an upcoming wedding or corporate function or anything like that, a private event, please keep me in mind. And if they need to reach me, you know how to do it, or just look me up on my website at djraysmusic.com. I hope you guys all had a good time. Congratulations, Uncle Mike. I look forward to seeing all you guys next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, right here on both Facebook and TikTok. Night.